We need to talk. We need to talk about this. I made a video. It was called, Where Are the Older Men Whose Lives Were Ruined by Hair Loss? Where are these men? Where are the testimonials? And I'm just not running into these men. The men that I know that are my age or older who went bald young, their lives weren't actually ruined. But for the guy who's 20 years old, part of that young generation now, living in the day of an age of instant everything in social media, as if that's reality, those guys are up against a challenge that I wasn't. Because let's remember the numbers here. Born in April of 1981, graduated high school in 99. The internet was invented, for all practical purposes, we want to say 1997, but trust me, the internet in 1997 was nothing compared to what the internet is now. So I want to share with you a comment that I received. Here it is. Quote, "It's the modern era, Nick. Older men never had the array of options we do. They only had fake looking wigs, dodgy comb overs, or a shaved head, although this was taboo for a long time due to skinheads. Today, we have finasteride, minoxidil, hair transplants, etc., among all the snake oil remedies too. Celebrity culture doesn't help either. They're all getting hair transplants these days," which I'm not denying, by the way. I'm totally aware of that. Even Chris Pratt, Star-Lord, Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, apparently he did. I mean, we knew about him. Matthew McConaughey, Joel McHale, Steve Carell. I've learned, and I only learned all that from people who left comments, and then I researched it, and you can see before and after photos, and like, oh yeah, they did. Okay. Even though some say Chris Pratt didn't actually have it done, but I would vote that he has. Not that I care personally, but the point is that if so many men are getting it done these days, you don't even know anymore, then it's only reinforcing that concept that men are supposed to have hair, even when they're pushing 40, because Chris Pratt's a year older than me. So I mean, that's a prime example there. So the rest of the comment says this: "What about baldness representation in the media? How many pop stars are thinning, or TV presenters? Is becoming a cultural taboo to be balding?" End quote. So, that comment got 4 thumbs up, and there's a lot of truth in it. And absolutely, yes, I can never relate to the generation that's, half my age in those regards. There's no way I can. But what can I do? I can try to help despite that, because I often do on this channel. And so I want to address that. Well, obviously we do know that there are many men who rock the completely shaved head look and are known as being more attractive and masculine because of it. But at the same time, I could recognize, as far as TV presenters, I can easily think of action stars. But as far as like men in suits, Good Morning America kind of thing, I know Matt Lauer, but then that whole thing far apart for other reasons. Comedians can totally get away with it, because we've talked before that with comedians, if you're too good looking, then you're not funny by default. You have to be a little bit goofy looking to be funny by default. Otherwise, people can't see you as funny. It's just how it works. So yeah, I agree to some degree. You can't play certain roles. You can't be certain things in front of a camera with a bald head. You can be a judge. You can definitely be a judge on, what is it, America's Got Talent, even though you're Canadian. Howie Mandel, who's Jewish and Canadian. The Jewish part, that's trivia, that doesn't change. But he's Canadian and he judges. Isn't that the show? Like, America's Got Talent? And aren't several of those judges actually like British and stuff? That's confusing to me. But for some reason, on all those American shows, they always have to have at least one British judge, or at least one judge who's not American. So going back to this concept, here would be my challenge back to this very relevant and true comment. I'm not denying that. Every word of it, I think is truth in this. But at the same time, here's what I'm going to say. When we reduce this comment to psychology, which is what I do, remember, my viewers reduce me to hair loss. They want me to care about hair loss the same degree that they care about it, even though I don't. Meanwhile, I reduce my subscribers to psychology. because I think that every human being is very easy to reduce to psychology, whether it's hair loss or whatever it is. You can figure out most people, and the reason for that is most people allow other people to affect their emotions. Most people aren't like me, who have a breaker switch that's on, who's turned off. So whatever you say about me, to me, think about me, whatever, I'm not emotionally affected by that. And when that happens to a person, like it has to me, I'm able to see what motivates people. Because most people want to be loved. That's like one of the main things that they want in the world. I made a video talking about how I'm a certain personality type. And for a while I struggled with trying to figure out, am I autistic to some degree? Am I on the spectrum? Am I right outside of Asperger's or something? But once I took the personality quiz and realized that Enneagram type 1, if you want to Google that, Enneagram personality test type 1, I'm a rare breed in that I truly don't care about being liked by other people and loved and accepted. I don't care. And I know it's easy. Nick, how can you say that? How can you say that? You've been married a decade, you have 2 young kids, and you're saying you're not motivated by love and acceptance? No, not if you have my brain. Because for me, I know that I don't have to earn their love because I can't. It's a matter of unconditional love. The same thing with my parents and my other family. That the closer the people are in your life, the more unconditional the love is. So the people that I really need, I already have. And I live on a daily basis to maintain that relationship. But it's not that I'm trying to earn it. It's because I truly love them and I understand that that's a mutual thing. But as far as the rest of the world, people needing to like me, come on, Nick, look at you. You've got 5,500 subscribers now. You make 2 or 3 videos a day and you're trying to say that you don't want people to like you or love you. No, because that's the thing. I've already said, I can't destroy this channel by anything I say unless I stop talking about hair loss. I understand that it's such a secret, dark, obsessive, underground culture with hair loss that as long as I'm producing content, people are going to keep watching. They need it. They're obsessed with it and they need to feed that. And I'm feeding them with a jumbo gumbo spoon. So no, I am not motivated the same way as most people. I'm not seeking approval from other people. I know how to get approval and I follow certain formulas to get it, but I don't thrive on it. Like I'm in my job, right? I'm good at what I do. I'm a recruiter. Google that. It sounds like a random job, but there's a lot of money in it. If you're good at it, which I am, and I don't know how that ended up happening, but for some reason I'm good at basically placing jobs with people, and it's a well-paying job to help fill job positions because of retention and turnover, right? So for me, it's not like for my boss I'm thinking, oh, I wish my boss would just tell me that I'm doing a good job. I need to hear that. It would really make my day. Now granted, when I am told that by my boss or coworker, it's always nice and I can always appreciate it. And I always let them know that I appreciate it, them telling me that when it happens. But never one day do I go into work thinking, I hope someone confirms that I'm doing a good job. Because I'm not motivated by what people accepting me. And that's largely due to my personality. And again, it's Enneagram type 1. Instead, what we care more about, if you have my personality, you have a very obvious sense of what you believe is morally right and morally wrong, and just right and wrong in general. So with me being a libertarian, that means, in my mind, I know all the black and white, cut and dry, all the rules of what I believe is wrong and right. But I don't judge people for it because I don't care. I don't need to convert them to my way of thinking because I'm too confident of a person, which is why I think a lot of libertarians are that way. We're not caught up in all the politics. You have to be alt-right all the way or liberal all the way and support one candidate and find a tribe there. Like, we're just doing our own thing. Not worried about that. I have so less stress in my life because I'm not caught up in all that silly politics and all that stuff and choosing a side. I'm not motivated. Please like me. Remember that video I did a couple weeks ago where I'm like, please don't unsubscribe. And that was to point out that fact. that so many people are then needing to be liked, and that's their motivation, instead of the things that they actually should be motivated by. So what I want to tell you is this. My whole life, and we can say it's because of my personality, my whole life I've never cared about being part of what anyone else is doing. It never mattered to me, which explains why I can be a vegan for 5.5 years. If I really cared that much about, think of what an outcast by default, even as a secret vegan, you end up becoming. People don't invite you over for dinner. They don't know what, I'm a vegan, my wife and kids are vegetarians. No one wants to have us over for dinner. It's too intimidating and annoying. I mean, but again, I so don't care about what other people think about me, and if they like me, they like me. But I think what happens is, that is in a definite contrast to the younger generation. And what's my impression of the younger generation? And I do this from time to time to remind you of how silly it is. What is social media? This is social media. This is the younger generation who's definitely struggling with hair loss mentally more than physically. Because this is them on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever the next thing's gonna be, this is them. They're swiping. Oh man, he's cool, she's cool, that's funny, okay. I don't know how I compare with that. Oh man, look at how much hair he has and he's younger than me. Oh man, she's so pretty, but she'd never go out with me because I'm balding. Oh man, scrolling. Okay, I better do something. Let me post a picture of myself. I'm having a good hair day. This t-shirt looks like I have muscles. All right, I'm having fun. Let me put something funny on here so people will think I'm funny too. And oh, here's my car. Let me make sure to get my car in so they can know I drive a cool car. Okay, all right. Let me wait for the likes. I want to make sure that people confirm that I'm cool, that I'm funny, that I'm good looking. You know, I need that confirmation. So I'm gonna. Okay, where's the likes? I haven't got any likes. Oh, there's one. And in that moment, you become a slave to that like on whatever social media it is. For me, I've unplugged from that. Yes, I'm a hypocrite because I'm a blogger and I post my stuff on Facebook. By default, it automatically links to it. But I have not scrolled Facebook since Trump won the election. That was the last time I did. I realized what a waste of time it is. And it was against my identity as someone who doesn't care what other people think about me. And I realized I really don't want, I don't care what they think either is the thing. Like, I just want real relationships. And people have less friends in general. And a lot of it is due to the disconnect of that happens with social media. So I would actually say that there could be a relation between the guys who are not all that caught up in social media and don't scroll news feeds and look at pictures and post stuff on there about themselves. I'd say that the most confident guys are not, where's my phone, are not scrolling Facebook and posting stuff all the time. Or if they do, they're like me, they're just selfish and they just do it to promote their own blogs and videos. I think there's absolutely a connection there. And it took me 13 and a half minutes in an unrehearsed video to figure that out. Man, there's a new hair loss theory. The more you post on social media and the more you scroll, the more insecure you are about hair loss, because it proves how much validation you need from other people. Whereas Nick Shell doesn't care about that. Man, thanks for leaving that comment. Man, 14-minute video, yikes.